Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg Podcast. I'm Rose, and I'm a content creator going by the handle Cheap Lazy Vegan, and I also own a vegan cafe by the same name as the podcast, which is SaVeg Cafe.
And I'm Daniel, also a vegan, and one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends currently living in different countries, and we'll be giving our savage take on all things life, veganism, and the latest trending topics.
So basically, whatever comes to our minds, because we love to talk.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast. Damn, Daniel.
Beautiful. Is this how you wanted to start this podcast?
I'm trying to recreate. So guys, we just tried to record the intro. Well, not the intro, but we tried to record the podcast, and then we had to adjust the volume settings because Daniel likes to scream into the mic
And the camera.
And then I tried to recreate the moment that we just had, and it's just something that we cannot recreate.
No, you failed.
Damn, Daniel.
You've failed, Rose. Well, hello everyone.
Hi guys.
And welcome back to another episode of the SaVeg Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the hallway to the bathroom. I should get a sign that says the hallway to the bathroom.
Yeah. Or like a picture of our logo. Right
Yes,
there
I
or
think so.
something.
Yeah, I really should.
That would be beautiful.
We're working on it, guys.
Yeah.
We're working on the studio. This is the hallway to the bathroom studio.
I feel like the podcast is a work in progress, right? And we're slowly working.
We be broke.
we slowly be working and progressing.
Yeah, very slowly. We ain't got no sponsors yet.
Oh, hopefully soon.
We got the patrons though.
That's
God,
true.
God bless you, patrons.
Yeah, thank you so much,
Okay,
guys.
you be paying for this hallway to the bathroom rent. Anyway, for those of you that are listening, not watching, we are sitting in the hallway to my bathroom in my room. This is the best filming location we could find in my apartment. Anyways.
And it's good because it's like a clear white
Yes, I
background,
like
so
it. Okay.
It is
We're going to
clean
make it
and crisp.
happen.
Yeah.
We're going to make it work.
Yeah, we make it work. We work with what we got.
Exactly. We're very resourceful. So today, guys, we are going to be discussing something.
What are we discussing, Rose?
We're going to be discussing the problem with influencers.
God damn.
Lord, there has been some drama all over the place,
there's
all
been
over the
so much
globe,
drama.
dude.
Let me tell you, I work with an influencer right next to me. And let me tell you.
Oh, goddamn, I'd be trouble. I'd be influencing in all the wrong ways.
No, but on a serious note, yeah, the topic today and the discussion is going to be about all of these like kind of not interlinked, but all of these dramas and things that have been going on specifically in the influencer community. And yeah, it's just pretty crazy. But before we dive right into the world of influencers,
What we going to complain about today?
I have another rant.
This was not part of the... Okay, I'm excited for this rant.
So, okay, this little rant. So
we should just have a rant sesh.
I know, I think
like
so.
In the beginning of each episode, we should be like, okay, it's rant time or whatever.
I've started doing that now, though.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just
you
like,
have.
I use this as my opportunity.
Okay, so is this another dating rant?
No, it's not a dating rant. This is not a rant about people loudly driving their motorcycles and cars down the road.
Right, okay.
So, well, this isn't really a rant. It was more, I kind of wanted to, because I know that like in the last couple episodes that we've done, and we also did a mukbang for Rose's channel.
Oh.
We had a little bit of comments in the comment section, which we do read, and we love that people are like commenting and stuff like this. And I know that several people were kind of concerned because obviously with the coronavirus and everything that's going on, they were concerned about our close proximity and some other things, which I understand.
Understandable,
Yeah,
absolutely.
which is completely justified, and I do understand that.
So it's not a rant then, Daniel. It's just an explanation.
Yeah, an explanation. There we go. It's not a rant. It's an explanation to you guys, our listeners and our viewers, that we are very strictly following the rules. One of the rules here, and actually I'm going to put a link in the show notes to...
Oh, God.
No,
you really want to prove yourself, don't you?
I want to show the people that, we are following the rules and we are being respectful, and we're not... Well, I'm not an influencer, but Rose is not being an influencer that is entitled, we are
spreading the vid.
Exactly. So one of the... actually, I can bring it up. I have it on my phone, I think.
What are you bringing it up? Okay, so basically I can just tell them.
I have
Daniel,
the actual quote.
God damn, Daniel.
So, okay, this is on the Government of Alberta website, okay?
This is not your space to to claim your innocence, but okay.
I want to defend my honor,
Okay,
Rose.
defend your honor.
Our honor, actually.
Our honor.
Yeah.
People think that I'm basically the problem because I'm the one that had you over. So.
Yeah, this is true. Anyway, so on the Government of Alberta website, it says there's more flexibility for cohort groups, small groups of people whose members do not always keep 2 meters apart. Households can increase their close interaction with other households to a maximum of 15 people.
There you go.
So, and again,
and we have no other friends, so basically.
Well, yeah, exactly. and what that means is it doesn't mean that you can't hang out with people outside of your cohort, but what that means is like if you're hanging out with other friends or whatever else, you have to be respecting the social distancing guidelines. So actually, this is like, it's okay.
This is fine.
Yeah. So,
yes.
and the reason I wanted to say this as well is because like also when I first got back to Canada, me and Rose we're used to recording this podcast like before when I was in Spain and everything else. We're more than happy and used to doing it virtually. So had this been an issue and we weren't allowed by the government rules and regulations, then simply we would have just continued to record it.
Yes.
At my house, well, like I would have been at my house, you at your house,
yes.
and virtual.
Absolutely.
So anyway, yeah, so that's just my little defending my honor there.
So we ain't COVIDiots. Is that what you'd be saying?
I'm trying to.
And watch, we're gonna get COVID.
Oh God.
And then we're gonna have some explaining to do.
Oh God, then we'll be like, we got it.
Honestly, though, like it is different depending on where you are in the world. So I think that's one thing to keep in mind is, just because the rules might be very strict where you're living doesn't mean that's the case in other parts of the world. So every place is different. Currently here, people are gathering within, again, like not everyone is following the very strict guidelines, but there are guidelines. Like, for example, when you go to any sort of indoor, like public space, like a restaurant or something, you do have to like wear a mask while you're going inside.
Exactly.
If you're going to a store, you have to wear a mask and all those things. So we are following the local guidelines, my friends. Yeah. So don't worry. We are good.
We're doing our part.
Are we?
Yeah.
We're trying. We're trying not to spread the vid. Okay.
Yeah. God damn.
Oh, God damn.
So anyway, after that little disclaimer, there we go.
It was a disclaimer. There you go.
That's the word
Daniel,
I was looking for.
English is your first language after all.
Actually. No.
All right, guys. So can I start with my story?
Let's hear it.
So we both have stories. One from Daniel's culture of white people. And then one from my culture of Korean people.
Okay, wow.
Both be messy as hell.
Let's get into it,
oh my God, I did not do the full-on research that Daniel did here, but I did do the research in my head. Okay. So the facts, you know how that goes.
We're going to trust the research in Rose's head right now.
Well, I mean, let me just quickly do a little Google here.
Yeah, maybe.
Google. There we go. Okay, guys. So this is what I understand. I'm not going to read off this let me just explain it to you, Daniel.
Yes, explain it to me because I'm very much out. It's surprise. I don't know that much about what's going on in the Korean
YouTube world. So, well, I don't really know too much either, but there are some YouTubers that I am familiar with, and a lot of these have to do with mukbang YouTubers, actually. I don't really consider myself a full-on mukbang YouTuber. Yeah. It's just a little part of what I do on my channel for fun so I can eat and pig out. Yeah. That's my excuse. But there are YouTubers that are specifically just mukbang YouTubers. And a lot of them have been under fire recently because there has been a huge scandal in Korea because a lot of these YouTubers have been basically exposed to do very sneaky advertising on their videos. As in, they do not disclose that it is a sponsorship.
Okay.
And not only did they not disclose it's a sponsorship, a lot of them kind of worded it as if they bought it themselves.
Okay. Yeah,
so, and apparently this is very, very common. I did not know how common this was in Korea, but apparently in Korea, this type of, they call it backdoor advertising. Yeah. This type of advertising is very common in Korea, apparently. So basically, a lot of YouTubers that are actually huge, like some of these people have millions of subscribers, they have been caught basically doing a bunch of backdoor advertising sort of videos over like the past probably few years, I think. Yeah. And apparently it's so common that a lot of them, like they probably have like tens of videos, like multiple videos. Yeah. Not just like one or two, but like a lot of videos where they didn't disclose that it was an advertisement. And then, I don't remember exactly how this got exposed. I think another YouTuber like got drunk or something on live show and then like exposed a bunch of names. Oh, okay. And then that started this whole like effect of people actually like finding proof and evidence. And then all of these YouTubers came out and said like, they basically owned up to it. They were like, yeah, because there was so much evidence against them.
Yeah.
So a lot of them are now getting a ton of backlash.
Which I think is justified.
Absolutely.
Because I think this is where, and we've talked about this a lot before in the past. It's like, because I guess it's not that new, like the whole, well, it's pretty new though, the idea of influencers, the idea of these people in this space.
Yeah.
So there's also a controversy, if you remember, on Instagram about people not necessarily being as forward and letting people know that it was ads. So I think part of the rules have changed now.
Yeah.
And it's the same with YouTubers and stuff. The thing is like, I think we as a general public, when we're watching stuff, we should be kind of aware if it's an advertised product, because I think that is a bit deceitful. If you're just like, oh, you know, I don't know how they're necessarily doing this backdoor advertising, but I would imagine they're just like, oh, the other day I was shopping and I bought this amazing cup. I love it. It's so cool. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not that blatant, but doing stuff like that, it's just like so misleading.
Yeah.
And it just makes me feel like kind of not icky, but just like, you know, it's not right. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like it's like you need to be kind of open and honest about this stuff. And I think...
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so let me just read a little bit of this. Okay, so it says... The recent controversy came as a YouTuber who uses the name ChamPD accused several popular YouTubers of not indicating promotional material. ChamPD claimed that he has collected evidence over the past 2 years. ChamPD, who himself also uploads mukbang videos, later apologized for making blatant accusations, including those that were found to be groundless. He deleted the video, but the debate had already taken a toll on mukbang YouTubers. Mukbang influencers, blah, 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 posted statements apologizing for not indicating advertisements in some videos that were already that were actually advertisements, or for indicating them in small letters or in sections that were not easily noticeable. So I think everyone has a different, you know, level of guilt, because some people maybe they kind of said it, but it wasn't as obvious. But some people would, for example, write stuff like, because they would do mukbang videos, right? So they would get food from, you know, let's say Pizza Hut or something, and then they would just say like, oh, today I just was craving a pizza, so I ordered some pizza. So it'll be like that. So it's like blatant lies. And so apparently these are very common, because what happens is, and it makes sense, because if brands also are participating in this kind of behavior, which clearly they know, because when I work with a brand as a YouTuber, I mean, unless they're shady, which I wouldn't work with them, but like if it's a proper brand, they will always say like, we have to follow FTC guidelines, which means you have to indicate that this is a sponsored video. So because they're covering their butt too, right?
Course,
so they don't want to get in trouble. So, but I think in Korea, the laws aren't as like up to date, I guess, with all the YouTubers and stuff. So I think, or maybe they are, I don't know. I don't know exactly.
I think again, like the difficulty here, or not the difficulty, but you know, I agree that why there'd be backlash for this. And I think, and I think also, I keep saying like, because the whole world of like influencers and YouTubers and all this kind of stuff, well, influencers in general, is like relatively new, and companies are figuring out how to work with them and do stuff. So, and maybe the guidelines and regulations aren't as clear as they should be, but I also think from an ethical standpoint, like that's where, you know, maybe in Korea, I don't know don't know the rules either, but maybe, because I know like, I'm pretty sure in the US and Canada now, they've kind of cracked down a lot on it.
100%.
Because in these markets, it's so huge as well. But I'm not saying in Korea it's not, but maybe the laws are a little bit less.
I think they're becoming more strict soon, but definitely they weren't as strict.
But then I think it comes down to like an ethical kind of standpoint as well, because it's like, do you want to mislead people? Like if you're getting a ton of free shit for your video or whatever else, and you're getting paid to sponsor these products, well, you know, you should. I feel like you need to you need to say something. You know,
and even like I would give them a little bit more leeway if they weren't. If they received it for free and just forgot to disclose, that's also kind of bad. But I would give them a little bit of a leeway, because again, it's kind of like, maybe it's a new industry. Maybe they're not used to it. I doubt it, because, you know, Korea's been using YouTube for a while too now. So I'm sure they know what the rules are. But if they just kind of like didn't mention it, then I might be able to be okay with it. But the fact that a lot of them will say like, oh, I ordered this, and it's just using that kind of language. It's like, I would feel so uncomfortable even just saying that.
Exactly.
So it's like weird.
And also we're assuming, well, not assuming, but we're saying, you know, maybe they, you know, receive some stuff for free, but imagine they're also getting paid for that video.
They are getting paid. That's the whole thing. They're getting large sums of money. It's not just free food.
Exactly.
Okay. Just putting it out there. It's not about free food. It's about free food, and they're getting actually a huge sum of money per video. And the fact is that this is apparently another YouTuber that's like a really big YouTuber, and I guess he doesn't do these things, but he did also like a video where he was like kind of exposing the world of like backdoor advertising. Yeah. And he says that some of these people do it constantly. Yeah. So because the thing is, think about it, right? Let's say I make 15 videos a month on my YouTube channel. Yeah. I can't do an advertising, like I can't do a sponsored video for every single video because then it'd be ridiculous and people wouldn't watch me because I would just be a living ad or whatever. Yeah. But if I were to not tell people that it's an ad, then I could do as many sponsorships as I want. I could literally make all of them sponsorships and they wouldn't know because I'm not telling them anyways. So apparently because of that, that's why they rack up these backdoor advertising because they can do as many as they want.
So probably they're also doing a mix. They're doing some where they admit that they're doing an ad.
Maybe,
and others they do backdoor advertising just to be like, because you're right, then obviously their viewers would get pissed off because it's like constant ads in their videos. So...
But in reality, they're probably just doing ads all the time, which is also very shady. So another thing, this is all crazy. Yeah. So one big YouTuber, her name is Suyang, and she was huge. Like I knew about her. She has like millions of subscribers. She's famous because she's like a tiny little girl and she eats like so much food. I've never seen anyone eat so much food. Anyways, she was like also one of the people that were called out because of this. And she announced that she's retiring because of all the shame. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Because Korea's like also like when you get shamed, it's like you are full shamed. Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's, like, it's not like a half shame kind of matter. It's like you get the full shame.
Like you will not be able to go into society. I feel like it's like that's why I'm shocked that these people had the audacity
to do it.
It's like that's another thing. It's beyond an ethical thing.
Yeah. Well, and also because of the cultural differences. Like if this happened in like the US or Canada, I feel like you'd still get some backlash, but it might not be as bad as like in Korea. People are going to be like, "What the fuck?"
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
So it's crazy that they thought that was okay and that somehow they got her. Anyway, she announced that she's going to retire, which is crazy. And she deleted like all her videos, like maybe privated them. I'm not sure. Yeah. And then there was another YouTuber. Her name is Bokki. And Bokki, I think Bokki. Yeah, Bokki. And she's like another like mukbang YouTuber. Yeah. And she's really well known because she's like pretty and she eats all the food that's in front of her, okay? But apparently one of the other controversies is that people are saying that she does what is called like mukbet, which means like, okay, so it's like muk means like you're eating in Korean, and then pet means like you're like spitting it out. So apparently because in Korea, mukbang is huge in Korea. Yeah. So some people in the past have been caught spitting out their food when, you know, like basically they edit it out or something like that. But some people have been caught doing that. And some people are saying that she is doing that as well.
Which is scandalous. I mean...
That's so ridiculous.
Yeah. The thing is, we also... this is kind of like a side note about mukbang though. But remember we talked about this in another video, in another podcast, about like the whole like dangers around it as well, around the mukbang and stuff. So like... but there's a lot like...
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah.
And I was just telling, because my friend told me about this whole scandal. And I was just like, well, you know, maybe they can, you know, get a real job now. Okay. Is that mean? I mean, I should not be saying that because I also do the same thing.
Well, I mean, but again, like look at your mukbang compared to other people, what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think there are some substantial differences.
Yeah,
and
it's a problem.
Yeah, because think about some of these, like, I'm not going to name any names, but some US mukbangers that I've seen. Some people probably already know who I'm talking about. But they're literally posting, I don't know, 3 videos a week, eating like the most ridiculous amounts of food. And I'm like, that's just like, so it's bad for the person that's doing it. Yeah. Both on a mental level, but also a physical. And also it's bad for the millions of people that are watching them, because in some ways it's just like promoting unhealthy eating habits.
Like binge eating, unhealthy eating. And they never eat healthy food. That's another thing, right?
It's always like, you know, I'm going to eat like 20 Big Macs and a fries and everything.
Same thing with these Korean YouTubers. They're eating like, I mean, again, tteokbokki is great, like spicy rice cakes, fantastic.
Love it.
They're probably not very good for you to eat all the time.
Yeah.
They eat it all the time, covered with cheese. They eat pizza. They eat instant noodles all the time. That's like probably the most popular mukbang food. Yeah. So it's like not healthy food, and it's not promoting anything really, you know, positive, I guess. But you know, I'm sure people get something out of it. So I'm half joking about the fact that they should get a real job. But you know, like, but if they're already, you know, if they're doing shit like eating food and then spitting it out, it's like, maybe you should get a real job. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. If that's what it takes to do your
Yeah.
job, that's fucking embarrassing. Imagine doing that.
And then on top of that, you're doing backdoor advertising.
Exactly.
So it's like it's starting to get a lot.
So,
You know what I mean?
I'm not sure if it is proven that she actually spits her food. So I'm going to give her the benefit of a doubt.
Yeah.
But the backdoor advertising, absolutely. And what's really embarrassing
Yeah.
is that some people initially, when this whole scandal broke loose, and all the names weren't like fully released yet, I believe that's when some people made statements basically being like, oh, I've never done this, and just kind of like,
But they had.
and then it was proven, and then the next day they're like, actually, I did. So
That's so bad.
It's so bad.
Like, okay, you know what? If you get called out on something, what
Yeah.
you need to do is you just need to own it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you need to accept what you've done,
Yeah.
accept your mistake, and own it. The worst thing that you can do is try to like bypass it, say that you didn't do it, and then
Yeah.
have something else come up, and it's like it makes you just look
I know
that much worse.
I know.
Like,
Because it's like
so
full
much
deception
worse.
then at
Yeah,
this point.
yeah.
Because it's like if it came out and you're like, oh crap, like
Yeah.
maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Exactly.
Because like then you should have recognized at that moment. Because before, again, I could have given you the benefit of the doubt that maybe you didn't think it was that big of a deal, right?
Yeah.
But then if you came out and made a statement being like, I didn't do this, and then you backtrack and say that you did it. Oh shit.
But then you know what? You know the worst thing is when someone does that though. The worst thing is because you know that concept of trust, right? And
Yeah.
at that moment, they just basically shattered all of their viewers and followers and whatever's trust.
Yes.
So then it makes you question and wonder, what is real? Do you know what I mean? What is anything? Any of their apologies? Anything that they're
Yeah.
doing? If they're caught back, they're not only are they already caught backdoor advertising, which is not good in itself. Now they're apologizing. Or no, they're first they're saying they didn't do it.
Yeah.
They got caught red-handed. Then they're backtracking on what they said like a day before and being like, "Oh no, sorry, I did do it. I was lying in my previous video." It's like people. Remember, we said this before.
Yeah.
What goes on the internet stays on the internet,
Yes.
right? So if you're making these statements, you have to be able to stand behind them.
Yep. And people
So-
are freaking detectives, yo. They will find out the receipts.
Ex-
They will find all the information.
People there are some people out there.
Yeah.
No offense to you guys, but some people have a lot of time on their hands.
Oh my gosh, seriously
and,
though.
and they'll be like,
but then they're the ones that dig up all. They're like the
know.
freaking CS.
They'll be-
what is it? What is
CSI.
it? CSI.
Yeah. They'll be like, oh, your opinion is this? Well, I found a
Yeah.
video of you 6.5 years ago on July 7th stating this. Here's the clip. And it's like, holy
No, but
shit.
seriously, even so people could probably pull up stuff that I said that I don't even remember saying.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. They'll be like, nope, Rose, I remember you said this on a different point. And you're like, oh.
God damn, I feel like, and this is crazy because, again, these people were huge, like millions of subscribers,
Yeah.
millions, like, and now what are they gonna do?
It's just like again with like influencers.
Yeah.
It's just like they have such a big following and a big audience.
Yeah.
I just feel like I know that they're people too and people make mistakes and whatever else, but I do feel like if you're having that many people watching your content, you do have to like think to yourself, like you want to uphold some level of like standards.
Dignity.
And yeah.
Exactly.
Like I just
But I also think that some of the blame, because obviously there's a lot of hate on these influencers and, there should be, but I also think that maybe some of the hate is probably a lot. Again, some of them are young and maybe they're stupid. And again, it's still fraud though, at the end of the
100%.
day. But I think some of this he should go to these companies.
well, exactly. They should go after these companies.
Absolutely.
110%.
They should know better no matter what. Like the influencers, they might be stupid, but companies should know better.
100%. And this is the thing that I was going to say about companies now. A lot of big companies now use influencers for advertising, right?
Yes.
And I think I've seen this or heard about this time and time again where what happens is like, especially like young influencers.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't have a business degree. Maybe they're not familiar
Yeah, they
with
might
business.
not know,
Yeah.
honestly.
And there's some companies that do try to take advantage of this where they'll say, oh, for example, they'll just give them free product and expect them to advertise and stuff where it's like, okay, well, actually you need to be paying these kids or these people that are promoting your product. And also you as a corporation or a company, you should be well aware of the advertising restrictions and things. And you have a certain ethical and moral standard that when you're advertising your product to consumers, you should be doing it in the most ethical way possible, right? Like you shouldn't be, first of all, maybe taking advantage of these YouTubers and also being a bit shady yourself.
Exactly.
Because what does that say about your company?
Exactly.
Like,
and some of these are big, like I think some of them were like chains, like Burger King or Pizza Hut. Maybe the Korean division just didn't know that there were, things to follow.
But I just feel like this is the thing that
they did it on purpose.
Yeah.
1000% they did it on purpose.
One of the things one of the jobs I had in the past, I was like kind of a part of a marketing team, and there is such strict guidelines and regulations that you have to follow with promotional advertisements, with all kinds of stuff. And if you're in marketing and the marketers and the, are the ones that would be engaging with these influencers, they know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
In Korea, apparently there's a lot of fraud. I think Korea is pretty high with fraud, which is another reason why this looks really just not good. Because, and because these are YouTubers with an international audience as well. So it's not good. It's shady as all hail. Seriously, it's crazy. Oh, in fact, a study by the Korea Consumer Agency conducted between October and November last year showed that of the 582 advertisements posted on the 60 most popular accounts, only 30% indicated they were promotional material.
That's bad. So 70%.
The crazy thing is, the YouTube community, we dealt with this like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, the non-Korean YouTube community, we dealt with this kind of shit 10 years ago where some people were not disclosing, but now it's like you would be like, there's no way someone that has a reputable account would go out and just not say that it is an advertisement.
It's crazy too, because I'm pretty sure, well, actually I'm like, when I'm even posting our videos for like the SaVeg podcast, there's also a thing that in part of the like part where you're filling out all the stuff about the video.
Uploading,
uploading, sorry. There's like a part that says that you have to specify if it's a paid advertisement or not.
And the crazy thing is, so after this whole scandal broke out, the all of these YouTubers with these, backdoor advertisements, they started going through their old videos and checking that product placement check. So they started checking it after the fact. So people like that watched those videos before, they knew that there was no, paid product advertisement thing. So they can see, but now all of them say includes paid promotion.
It's
shady, man.
It's shady. They be doing the backdoor on the backdoor.
The backdoor on the backdoor.
God damn.
So yeah, it's pretty crazy. I don't know if they're going to be prosecuted. I think again,
you think it's a violation of consumer like the consumer rights, or
I think it should be. I think because the fact that I think the company should definitely be somewhat prosecuted, because I feel like again they probably know what they're doing, especially because I'm sure that they do advertisements where the person says that it is sponsored, so they know. Okay, so it's shady, and if there are YouTubers that don't do it, they know it's shady. Right? Because some YouTubers are like, I don't do this.
Exactly.
So if there's YouTubers like that, then they know that this is a shady behavior.
But this is what I mean is like, I am like 99.9% sure that the companies that were engaging in this, they know.
They absolutely know.
Because there's no way that they could have not known about these. And you're right. They've probably approached a lot of different YouTubers with proposals or whatever else. And a lot of those YouTubers would say, oh, actually, I'm not comfortable doing this. So
maybe not a lot of them. There was a huge list of people that apparently didn't.
Apparently, a lot of people have no
it's crazy.
Problem.
Well, again, I feel almost like I wish I knew more details about the behind the scenes of how these deals came through. Because maybe some of them just didn't know, and they maybe, because sometimes like what happens is when you get a sponsorship, the brand will tell you some things that they want you to say, right? Some talking points. And then you can kind of like, depending on the brand, you can elaborate, you can make it your own, whatever. But maybe some of them were like, well, can you just say that like, oh, you bought it today, or like, you know what I mean?
See, that's not right.
That's so shady. That's so shady.
Oh God, it just makes me feel
it's so
icky.
crazy. It's so icky because like when I do sponsorships, I say it like 15 times. I swear to God. I'm like, hey guys, this video is sponsored by so and so, and then I put it in the description box, and then I also say it in the end of the video. Thanks for sponsoring today's video.
Exactly.
I never check the thing though. Maybe I should. I probably should. But I mean, I disclose it either way, right?
Exactly. As long as I think primarily that's if you're not disclosing it. Like let's say you did not a backdoor advertisement, but let's say it's an advertisement where you don't specifically disclose it the way that maybe you are doing it. So then they say, okay, well, that's another option where you check that. And then people know that this is a paid advertisement. So that way, either way, it's about informing consumers, and it's about letting people know that are your followers and watching what you're doing. That this is they are being advertised to. Advertised to. Why can't I say that word?
Sometimes words are hard.
I know.
It's actually fraud. I feel like companies should be held accountable.
I think there's probably this is just come out recently, so I feel like there's going to be more stuff going on behind the scenes.
We'll find out more.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying about how we'll see what progresses and what happens with this particular story.
Yeah.
But I do have a feeling that, based on like consumer, I feel like it's a violation of consumer rights.
Yeah.
So I just feel like, because people have to have the right to know when they're being advertised to.
Yes.
So it should be pretty clear. And I think this is just really, really misleading.
Well,
so
what do you feel about like before
product placement?
Yeah, because like not talking about YouTube, but traditional media, I feel like there's actually more of that kind of. But at the same time, so what I was saying was, sorry, I'm having many thoughts at once.
I can see.
I'm like, I haven't even finished one sentence.
And struggling to get them out.
So in traditional media, there's advertising in, like, for example, even TV shows, right? They'll have like product placement or something,
and
well,
they don't like a can of something there
exactly,
drinking,
and they don't disclose it in that kind of circumstance.
True.
So like I do feel that influencers have, like, there's more heat on influencers to be a lot more, like, we have to say, this is a product placement, this is a sponsorship, at least in Canada and in North America.
Yeah.
But I do feel that kind of standard isn't put on traditional media as much.
That's an interesting one, because you're right. Because I do remember, like, and I recall, like, lots of movies do this, lots of like TV shows, things like this. They will have product placement where, like, for example, there'll be somebody working on a MacBook, or there'll be a Coca-Cola, and apparently, like, any product that has like branding,
it's been paid for. It's been paid 100%.
For. So, and a lot of people have music videos. Music videos is a big one. Back probably still is.
Yeah.
Where they'll have like products placed throughout the music video. So
so all I ask is that they do the same thing. Why is it only like, I get it to some extent, because I know that there is a different relationship with influencers and with our audience, because if you are on a YouTube, people, how do I say, it's kind of like like, this is your life, this is your actual review, right? So for example, if I'm like, oh, I like this mascara, that's an actual review of the product. So versus if it's just, how do I say it? Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm talking about my experience. So let's say that I'm eating like a Pizza Hut pizza.
Exactly.
And I'm saying, oh, it tastes good. People actually think that is my genuine, honest opinion, right? So that would be more deceiving than having a pizza in a movie or something.
Yeah, see, and I agree with that, because by somebody having a can of Coca-Cola on a movie, it's still, I can see why there's a lot of gray area here, but I can still see why, like, if I'm a famous actor, I'm in a film, drinking a Coca-Cola, whatever, that's been paid for by Coca-Cola. I'm not saying as an actor that this is my choice, this is what I recommend to you guys, blah, 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 blah. It's just kind of, you know what I mean? But
I still feel like
subtly being advertised. But I
still do feel like YouTubers have, there's more pressure on YouTubers to be, and there's more backlash if YouTubers don't say anything versus, like, traditional celebrities. I feel like they don't get as much, like, crazy backlash, but that's just another story. But either way, I think it is important to have those guidelines. It is important to say something is sponsored.
Exactly. And I even think for those product placements and stuff, I think that needs to be more
disclosed.
Yeah, 100%, because it's it just feels a bit, it just feels icky, like I said before.
God damn. So there's that story from all the way from my hometown of South Korea. God damn. One day I'll have a positive story about South Korea.
No, we'll have some good stuff to say at some point, right?
Oh God, it's crazy.
I do feel like a lot of the stories that we talk about are kind of negative. We should try to find some positive ones.
No, but that's boring. You got to talk about the negative shit.
True.
That's
true.
I always say that, when you go on a trip and only good things happen, then you won't have any stories to tell, because nobody wants to hear about your, fun trip to,
This is why I love European Rose.
Because I always have the worst stories.
Oh my God. Anytime Rosie travels to Europe, just believe, if you're traveling with her, get out extra insurance, make sure that, you got your shit in order, because believe me, when I say that shit is going to hit the fan. And it does. It hits the fan and flies everywhere.
Oh, goddamn.
So, and that'd be European Rose, but that's for another day, folks. Actually, we have a travel story video.
We do have a travel story. Is it on Patreon, or is it for the public?
I can't remember.
Goddamn, Daniels. Okay, we gonna go to the next story of how influencers are shit.
Yeah. So this next one, it's kind of been going on the last couple of weeks, though. So there has been a bit of this in, like,
I've heard of this.
Talked about on YouTube. There's been quite a bit of backlash. So what the backlash was quite recently. I guess there's this thing called, I don't even know what this is, the Hype House.
So the Hype House, from what I know, forgive me, young people.
Yeah.
The Hype House is a house where a bunch of TikTok people live in that house. And they live together. They create content. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I know like some of the famous people that live there. It's like Tony and his brother, the Lopez brothers.
Okay.
Anyway, a few other people.
God, I'm too old for this.
I know. I don't really know. I don't really go on TikTok. So.
Oh God. See, I have a TikTok, but I started it because I'm like, okay, maybe I should start, mingling with the young people, making some recipes on TikTok. And some of them, anyway, I made like 3 TikToks. I might make a few more, but now Instagram has Reels. Have you heard of that?
Oh, yeah.
And now, so the annoying things are now moving onto Instagram.
Oh, God.
Well, now I have to go on Reels too, because, the thing is with these platforms, especially with Instagram, you have to kind of like get on board with the new stuff.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'll like hide your account. I swear to God.
Oh, God.
It's one of those things. It's like, because if you start using Reels now, they're probably going to bump your account up right now.
Of course, yeah.
God damn, that'd be another thing I need to do.
God damn, put that on
That'd
your
be
to-do
on my
list.
to-do list, my never-ending to-do list.
So basically, this Hype House that has all these TikTokers that, to be fair, there's quite a few people that live in this house, I guess. But also they had this house party, and this was like last week or a couple of weeks ago, where they basically had over 200 guests inside this house party. No one was wearing masks. No one was social distancing. Everyone was hugging each other. And some really, really famous people were there, like James Charles, Tana Montag.
Isn't it Monjo? No,
Monjo.
Tana Monjo.
Tana
Like,
Monjo.
why does that sound weird right now?
I know. Anyway.
Tana Mojo. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Tana
Her.
Mojo.
Nikita Dragon. There was just like a bunch of really, really famous influencers. And because
this is in California. Okay,
Yeah.
keep in mind also,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure California has had some massive outbreaks.
it's like one of the epicenters of the US right now.
So it's like, excuse me, are there no rules?
I don't know what's
Anyway,
going on.
continue.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, this is in California, and it's already got these crazy, crazy outbreaks, and all of these people are just like, hey, and plus the fact that they're influencers, of course, what are they doing while they're at this party? Posting. So like to their millions and combined, probably like so many followers that we're partying, we're doing all of this stuff, blah, 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 blah. So of course, like, what do they expect? Of course, there's going to be massive backlash.
Yeah.
And like, it just creates like, first of all, it's going to like other people, what this will create with their followers, it's like a chain reaction, right? A lot of their followers are young, influential, easily influenced people. And they might say, oh, well, my favorite influencer is at this massive house party. I guess it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a massive house party.
Yeah.
Then you start having this spiral effect of other people having these big house parties, and it just creates so many issues.
So many issues.
In addition, so all of this is going on. So this happened on one weekend, and then there was like a parent, and I'm not even sure who this person is that did
Elijah Daniel?
Yeah. So Elijah Daniel
He sounds familiar. I don't know why.
Yeah. So anyway, this guy, he posted on Twitter and was like, about this party, warning, a lot of influencers have been confirmed to me testing positive for COVID-19 after the influencer parties, like a lot. And they aren't saying anything and aren't warning people they came into contact with after. If you attended, get tested. Y'all caused an outbreak. Thanks.
Oh my God.
And this is bad on so many levels. So like, I think, and it just showcases like just so many bad behaviors of influencers. And I know quite a few of them came forward after the fact and started apologizing. But number one, we are in the middle of a pandemic, right? Like, and there are, I even imagine in California, there's restrictions on things that they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, there should be.
Like I'm sure that must have been illegal, or maybe not illegal, but like a bylaw or something.
Yeah, there must be.
Right?
200 people in a house.
Yeah.
And let me just say, it's California. Can't you meet outside?
Well, this is it. You guys have damn good weather over there. You ain't in Canada.
Seriously.
It's not freezing cold.
It doesn't make sense. I'm like, why would you meet in a house?
Yeah.
Just meet outside, dude. Like,
exactly.
And why do you need to meet 200 people? Like, what's anyway.
What is the urgency right now?
Seriously,
what is the urgency?
Crazy.
And then on top of this, the fact that you have this person coming forward and saying, whether there's truth to this or not, we don't know. Again, it could just be hearsay. But if there was some truth to this fact, that there are several of these people at the party that tested positive, it is, and we were just talking about this before, that is their responsibility to let, as awkward as this conversation was, you need to let the people know that you've been in contact with. So like, for example, if I all of a sudden got COVID, it's my responsibility. I would have to tell you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because we've been hanging out. I'd say, Rose, you need to go get tested, blah, 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 blah. That's the responsibility for me. And for these influencers, I'm just shocked that they wouldn't be doing that.
They're so young and dumb, though. A lot of them. Like,
Oh
I'm
my
just being
God.
honest. They don't really. The thing is, a lot of these kids are kids.
Mm-hmm.
They're like what, like 19, 20 years old, maybe?
They're
maybe
young.
a little bit older.
Yeah.
But like, they're young and they got famous really quickly, and they haven't really learned real life lessons.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
they're just really stupid. Like Nikita Dragon hasn't apologized apparently, and
so-
appears to be still throwing parties.
Yeah, so apparently,
Great.
that comment was just after this whole. So they had the Hype House massive party,
Okay.
and then apparently there was another party that Nikita Dragon was hosting or helping to host or whatever, which was another big party right after this other one.
God, I never want to move to California.
I know, and I'm just like, people, please, like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
It's crazy. And
So-
like, and also don't post about it. Like, are you stupid?
Well, this is it. I mean, again, and this is. I mean, they shouldn't be doing it in the first
Yes.
place, but the fact that they're also,
Yeah.
and all of them, each one of these people has like millions of followers, like
Yeah.
millions, right?
Yeah.
So, and they're posting it on Instagram, they're posting it on all of these different social media platforms.
Yeah,
And it's like, what are you doing?
I know.
What are you doing? And it's like you're telling everyone that it's okay,
Yeah.
you know? Because if you
Yeah.
see people that you look up to or that are like influencers, you think, oh, well, they're doing it. Why can't I?
Mm-hmm.
They're not getting in trouble.
Yeah.
Let's go have a party. Let's
Yeah.
go do this. So
And I think I saw a video of I don't know if this is real, but there was a guy that called, I guess he's also, again, a big influencer.
yeah.
I don't know who he was, but he called Jake Paul, I think, and said, hey, like, because I guess they were hanging out. And this guy called Jake Paul and was like, hey, by the way, I got tested for COVID and
Yeah.
it came back positive.
Yeah.
And then Jake was like, oh, shit. And then like he kind of acted like it's not that big. Like he wasn't going to get tested. He wasn't going to get, because he got in contact with somebody that got tested positive.
Yeah.
He should also either be quarantining or getting tested.
Well, this is it. That's the responsibility of the people,
Yeah.
you know?
But then he was like, oh, no.
And we wonder why cases are so high in some countries. Do you know what I
God
mean?
damn, seriously.
Like you just have to look at the case numbers and be like, okay, what the
It's
hell?
bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad news.
And it's just like, it's so ridiculous. And
But Daniel, we be not social distancing.
we be in the same
Cohort.
We're cohorting.
That word as well is like, I don't think I've ever used that word. Cohort. I've never used that word.
I think maybe in university.
I don't think I've used it in university.
Wow.
Cohort.
Now you can start using it now.
Cohort. Well, I mean, there's a lot of words that I haven't used ever, like quarantine,
Yeah,
that I've been
true.
using nonstop
Like
in 2020.
So many. I was funny.
Pandemic, even.
Yeah, true.
Like I've heard of epidemic, and I think I'm sure I've heard of pandemic, but I never used the term
Well,
pandemic.
exactly. It's so funny because when I was teaching English in Spain,
Yeah.
it was during this whole time we were doing like online classes during the quarantine, and one of the teachers was like, "Hey, do you mind just like putting together a list of like new vocabulary words because of the quarantine,
Yeah.
like words that again."
Yeah.
A lot of the kids were quite good at English, but these are all new words to them.
Yeah.
Right? So we had to go through self-isolation,
Yes.
social distancing.
Yeah.
What does this mean? Because these are all new kind of like concepts and like words that are coming out of this, or words that maybe we had in the past but just never used.
We never
before.
really felt the need to use them.
Exactly.
And now
So-
we're using them nonstop.
a lot.
God damn, Daniel. Okay, what be next
so
in
the-
our influencer shaming party?
Oh God, this is an influencer shaming party.
God, I apologize, guys, for
Yeah.
the on behalf of all the influencers. Okay. All right. So next story.
Our last kind of our last little thing on this influencer train of pain.
Influencer shaming party.
Yeah, the shaming party. So this
God
one
damn, I'll be ashamed, guys. I cannot show my face again.
Oh God damn. So this one was just like it was kind of a funny story, and this was a job posting for a assistant, a part-time. Keep in mind when I'm saying this that this is an advertisement for a part-time assistant, and basically this job posting went viral for all the wrong reasons.
Is this real?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me.
So basically, this job that was posted. So here's a few of the stuff that's in the job spec. Okay. So first of all, this person must have a car to be able to drive the influencer whenever and wherever they want to go. They're responsible to wake the client up in the morning with a coffee and their schedule and any other requests.
Oh God.
Actual work hours will vary, but expected to be with the client at all times. Minimal days off. They're required to cook, clean, handle their schedule and all communications. Must be on the property 8 hours a day and on call 24/7. And did I miss any points? I think, coordinate all travel and drive them to wherever they need to go. And this person was going to get paid 25 to 30 per hour, which
That's pretty good.
decent. But again, keep in mind, this is considered a part-time job.
Yeah, see, that's where it loses me.
Exactly. If
The
it was
part-time, if it's a full-time job, I get it.
Yeah.
I didn't know you found my ad, Daniel.
I did. And this is funny because Rose is always like, you want to join the CLV family? I didn't realize this was the job posting,
Daniel,
Rose.
this be for you.
So you require me to wake you up in bed with a coffee, breakfast, and your schedule for the day?
I think I would appreciate it very much.
Hey, I do make you coffee sometimes. So
You do. So you're already doing half the job.
Exactly.
All you have to do is get a license.
Mm-hmm.
I just outed Daniel. Should we talk about that story?
No, I don't want to.
So Daniel, a few years ago, decided that I don't make fun of him enough.
Yeah.
And decided to allow his license to expire.
Well,
and didn't renew it on time.
I know. So I missed the cutoff to renew my license because I was living in the UK and I didn't need to drive basically. And so I came back to Calgary and
you were going to do it at some point, but then you didn't, right?
Well, last year I was here just for a visit for a friend's wedding. And I was like, you know what? I'm moving back to Canada this year. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to renew my license. So I went to go renew my license. And because apparently in Alberta, if your license is expired more than 3 years, then you have to redo all your tests.
So not just the driver's test, but the learner's test as well.
So yeah.
So that's basically Daniel's story. So basically Daniel doesn't even have a learner's permit.
So I couldn't fill this job description.
No, you couldn't.
Because I don't have
No,
I
you
wouldn't be able to drive this person.
Must have car to drive influencer. Wow. I wonder who this is.
Yeah. There was speculation because nobody knows who the influencer was. And there was like speculation again about it. But again, I just think like the fact that this is like a part-time job role and they're like basically,
it doesn't make any sense because it wouldn't be part-time if you're on the property 8 hours a day.
But just because you're on the property 8 hours a day doesn't necessarily mean you'll be working for 8 hours a day, I guess.
No.
But I think that's shady. Do you know? And
that's not just shady. I'm pretty sure that's against the law.
Yeah. Well, labor laws and on call 24/7. So like, and they probably don't get paid for on call.
Of course. Yeah.
So anyway, I just think again, this just influence. This just highlights how entitled I feel like some of these influencers are. And again, I think this is the problem when you throw, especially the young people, into this like superstardom of the influencer world, and
they think they have it all.
Yeah, and they lose touch with reality. You know? And they're so far removed. That they kind of.
I really want to know who this is.
I know.
Was this in California?
Yeah,
in
I
LA.
believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Jesus.
The person that did it they never got outed yet. So I'm gonna keep my eye on this because this is quite a recent.
It's a new development.
Yes.
Did it go viral? This posting?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Where did they post it?
I don't know. But
minimal days off. That part also throws me off.
I know.
It's like, again, do you understand the
labor
part-time
laws?
Like, do you understand part-time
exactly
versus full-time?
Part-time is part-time. Well, like I said, this is looking very familiar to the stuff you were asking me to do for CLV, you know?
Daniel,
Speaking of
all I ask for is that you wake me up in the morning with the coffee and breakfast ready.
And you know, every
massage once in a while.
Yeah. God damn.
Be on call 24/7.
Oh, there was more stuff in the advert in the ad as well about like video editing and just
my
like
God.
there was a lot of stuff. So and
you can't expect your assistant to do
everything.
Like that literally sounds like everything.
But this is basically it. I think that was another reason why it went viral because they were saying like literally like basically they were asking for this person to like
be the full on
everything.
Yes, that's impossible.
Exactly. They were like expecting them to do video edits, communications with like
companies and brands,
everything.
No, ridiculous.
Cook, clean for them.
Oh my God!
Like it's a bit like ridiculous.
Get a maid.
Yeah.
Get a maid. Get a house. What do you call it? A house
manager? No.
What is it? Not a maid. A housewife.
Not a housewife.
Not a housewife. You know what I mean? Nanny, whatever they're called.
Live in a house? No, I don't know. God, what is the word?
Oh my God, what? There's a word.
Housemaid?
Not a maid, but there's another word for. Oh my God, why am I blinking? Do you see where I'm getting at?
Yeah, but I can't remember the word either. It's on the top.
Anyways.
Yeah, but get one of those. You know, like
and you need a maid and a separate assistant to deal with your schedule.
Exactly,
and also get an alarm clock. Well, that works.
This is another thing too. Like, I'm sorry, like you know, some of the stuff that was in the job description, I was like, you know, that seems fair. You know, like if they're required to transport this person, this kind of stuff, schedule. Obviously, that would be the role of an assistant. But where it did get a little bit like again. All this like cooking, cleaning, having to wake this person up. Like, I'm really sorry, but like, I don't care how famous you are.
The wording is just weird.
You need to set an alarm. Yeah. Can you not get up yourself?
I think they mean that bring them coffee in the morning, but maybe they just worded it really badly.
Yeah, because I get the coffee too. Because a lot of assistants, they'll
they'll
even
make
here
coffee.
they'll go to Starbucks and grab
That's
like
fine.
Starbucks for people.
Yeah, I mean that's probably what they meant.
Yeah,
like it's just I think the way that they worded it is just
it could be
terrible.
Worded, poorly.
Like wake client up with coffee. Like what?
Yeah.
Oh my god, seriously.
It's pretty bad.
I would hate to work for I would hate to work for this person.
It sounds like from this posting though, they would be like very, like I was saying about entitled, like they just wouldn't be somebody that I would want to work for. And again, I just feel like a lot of these influencers are just losing touch with reality, and they're getting these massive egos because they have these huge followings, making so much money.
Yeah.
And they're just losing touch of reality. And look at them. They're thinking also with these, for example, these parties and stuff, they're losing touch and also thinking that partially they're like above the law as well. So they're thinking, well, I'm an influencer. I can do what I want. I'm going to have a big party at my house, even though we are in the middle of a pandemic. And, California is having a huge amount of outbreak. So I don't know. Yeah.
God damn, this be crazy.
I think there's a lot of good influencers out there too, though.
I mean, of course. I mean, it's a big community, and there's a lot of people doing this job, and these are not everybody. Okay,
yeah, these are not
like a few people that are quite young, probably.
Yeah.
And very famous, and not really in touch with reality.
Yeah, this is the biggest thing. I think just losing touch with reality.
I wonder, like, what are they going to do? Because I almost feel bad for them because I feel like the thing is fame, this type of fame is it's fleeting. Like,
of course.
It's not going to last, especially when they're famous at such a young age.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to last.
Yeah.
It might last them 10 years. I'll give them 10 years.
Yeah.
And then what are you going to do? Hopefully you're smart enough to have built up something and built up some knowledge and all that stuff.
And go into other things,
But man, like, would that suck to turn 30 and then feel like you're washed up already?
Well, this is it. And this is a problem that happens in a lot, especially in these kind of I guess job or careers where you are famous. Like, look at, you see this time and time again with musicians, actors, a lot of people where they always used to say that 15 minutes of fame, right? And it can be fleeting. And, it is kind of sad because like some of these kids, like they are, and even adults, some people are adults that are doing this. They're putting out, crazy content, breaking the rules, creating not such a great name for themselves. And, once they are retired from YouTube, when that happens, or if YouTube rules change or whatever else, and they have to go into like a professional career or something else, they're going to have troubles, especially if they have this inflated sense of self and ego, they're going to have some serious difficulties.
Yeah.
So,
and just even the mental kind of, I guess, problems of being so famous and being so accepted, and then all of a sudden your numbers start going down and you're not as popular as before, then you're gonna that's gonna be hard.
That's gonna be
and a lot of these people are famous because they're really cute or good looking, and they don't really do much. They're just like kind of good looking, like Nikita Dragon. I'm sorry, she's famous because she's transgender and stuff, but she's also famous because she's pretty hot, right?
Yeah, she's hot.
Yeah. And she's got that body and everything. She's hot. But, in a few years, someone hotter is going to come along with a bigger boob job and
bigger ass.
Bigger butt job.
Okay.
Okay. So,
it's, it's a tough one. And it is kind of, I kind of in some ways feel bad for these people.
Yeah. We'll see what happens in 10 years.
So,
hopefully some of them will be smart, right? Some of them will be smart and build up something else on the side, and also maybe save some of the money. Living in California, though, if they're all about living large,
and which they are,
seen,
like if you ever watch any of these YouTubers, they're all like living this kind of, and it's so not interesting, but you and you can see time and time again, you've seen this with even like really big actors and things like this, where they go broke because they're overspending. And the same thing's going to happen to these YouTubers. You know what I mean? If they're living these like crazy lives where they're spending so much money, then, they're just going to run into difficulties.
And they're living in LA. It's expensive.
Exactly.
And you always have to like one up each other. Oh my God, I would hate to live there. God damn.
Gotta be living every day for the clout.
For the clout. You sounded like a dad trying to be cool. You gotta live every day for the clout, kids. Yeah. The clout.
Oh my God. It's like, so my parents have like, oh God, they just do this to annoy me now. But like my grandma, when she, when I was telling her about being vegan and everything else, She doesn't pronounce vegan. She pronounces, I think I might have said this.
Vegan.
She's like, oh, like we'll go out somewhere to like a restaurant and my grandma will be like, oh, do you have any vegan options for my grandson? I'm like, you mean vegan, right?
That is so funny.
And now my parents have started doing it, I think on
that's
purpose.
so
just to like
funny.
Me. They're like, oh, Daniel, we made a vegan dinner tonight. I was like, really? Are we going to invite some vegans over then? Oh, God. So funny, though.
Oh, God. All right. Well, there's the story. And yeah, so that's pretty much the end of why influencers suck.
Oh,
no, I'm just joking, guys. Okay.
Not all influencers. This is just,
like me. I'm a good one.
Yeah. Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Except when you're bullying me.
Except for when I asked Daniel to wake me up with coffee.
That's true.
But
so,
I mean, you like doing it, right, Daniel?
I don't mind making coffee. It's fine.
I'll pay you with food.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You do, actually.
I don't know if that violates any labor laws, but...
We'll have to see about that. Wait till you hear from my lawyer.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I think that concludes today's episode, all about the crazy world, a little bit of a window into the world of influencers. And it's kind of nice, chatting with you because you know this world.
I do.
You be's an influencer.
I don't I hate that term.
Yeah.
Who came up with this goddamn term?
Yeah.
I hate it so much.
I know.
But now I can't avoid it because like I have to use it because it makes sense. But at the same time, like, why can't you come up with a better term?
I know.
It just sounds so icky.
It does sound. That's the word of today, guys. Icky. It's just like
why?
You're influencing people. Oh.
Like what kind of word is that?
I know,
Who came up with this?
Ugh.
I hate it.
It's crazy as hell.
I prefer the term content creator.
Yeah. I like that.
I prefer that. It makes me sound more legit.
Yeah, it sounds like a more legit business.
Yes.
I'm a content creator.
Yes.
And then influencer. Okay, well. But anyway, hopefully that gives you guys a little peek into some stuff that's going on right now, both in the United States of America
and in South Korea.
And in South Korea influencers as well. So
oh God.
Yeah,
maybe we'll keep you posted on what's going on with the South Korean business.
See what is happening. But as always, thank you so much for joining us, either listening to us or if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe, like, send us messages, comments, follow us on Instagram at the SaVeg Podcast. And
and check us out on Patreon, guys, for the bonus episodes every month. It's patreon.com/the SaVeg Podcast. And that's pretty much it.
That's it.
Thanks, guys. Bye.